What's up, guys?
Let's start with Victor. Go ahead, Victor.
Hey, Daniel. Um, just wanted to kind of get your sense or the sense from you about how much the state has sort of adopted you and other out-of-state guys, how much you've kind of become part of this community and this state.
Um, I couldn't be more thankful for the way that they've, kind of welcomed us with open arms. And um, we actually talked about it a lot this year, especially, trying to teach freshmen and new guys coming into the program about the culture and everything. But, when you step out on that field, when you're a part of this program, you're pretty much a Montanan. And that's how people see you. That's how they embrace you. Everything you do is a representation of this state, this school. And, it's a sense of pride that you have to carry with you. And, I love the state. You know how much I talk about the fans and how great they are. I've never felt like an outsider here. Every time, even before this year, anytime somebody would see me wearing Montana State gear and Safeway or something, they tell me how much they love the Bobcats and stuff like that, and how much they support us. So it's been, a great experience being here, and I love the state of Montana.
And just how does the passion and the pride for football in this state compare to the other states you've been to?
Here it's everything. Like we talked about, when I was getting recruited here, and we talk about it a lot. There's no like pro sports team here. So this is it. Like everybody, like, especially, I mean, just knowing how quick, like we were coming back from Sam Houston and we were getting on the plane to come back home. And somebody was telling me the tickets for our game against South Dakota were already sold out. Like, stuff like that is just, it's being like the pinnacle of sports here in Montana is just amazing. And, it's almost like you're kind of a hometown celebrity in a way, even though you're not from here, but, everybody knows who you are. I walk into a restaurant, little kids hop out their seats to come give me a high five. It's stuff like that. It's amazing. And, this is the kind of stuff that like you get to experience at maybe like an FBS school or something like that. But here it's like, football is everything to these fans and these people. And it means a lot to be able to, have the opportunity to bring a championship home, to, let our fans know that they weren't out there in the snow and the wind and everything for nothing. So, it's a great feeling.
Thanks, man.
Parker, let's go to you next.
Thanks, Bill. And Daniel, thank you for your time this morning. A couple quick questions is, can you start with maybe take us through what sort of sense of accomplishment, you and your fellow seniors have in terms of having increased the win total each of the last couple of years, getting progressively deeper into the playoffs, and finally reaching this point? Does this seem kind of like a full circle moment for your group?
Maybe full circle, but I wouldn't say a sense of accomplishment. We've been here and we've set out to win a national championship, and we've been trying to do that for 3 years, and we've fallen short. And so I would say we don't feel like we've accomplished anything. I'd say the job's not done yet. I'll feel accomplished when we come back with the trophy, but until then, it's, we still got a job to do. As far as full circle, yeah, because we play a lot of teams this year that we played in my first year here in 2018, and it was kind of a revenge tour, more or less. And so, it's a good opportunity. We've been doing what's expected of us, and we've been doing what we were supposed to do. And now it's time to go finish it off. And so, like I said, nobody feels satisfied. None of us are complacent. We have a job to do, and we're ready to go down there and get it done.
And when you consider when you first got here, to kind of where you are and where this team is now, is this obviously something that you hoped for, but is this something that you maybe expected out of this program when you came here? Is that kind of why you came here, to play in a game like this?
Yeah, more or less. I came here. Well, the biggest deciding factor of me coming here was the culture that we had here. The things that Coach Choate and his previous staff built here, was something that I valued, and the culture is still here today. It lives on through the guys. It's who we are as, Bobcats, bleed blue and gold. It's a very strong culture, and I think that's what's carried us through, everything that's gone on in the recent history, and I feel like it's what's going to carry us through in this game on the 8th. So, yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then the very last thing for me is, can you take me through maybe the defense's role in kind of rallying around Tommy Mellott, kind of what that looks like? Obviously, the offense works a lot closer with him, but as a defensive player, what do you all consider your responsibilities in making sure that he knows he's supported from that side of the ball also?
I mean, our job as always is to just get that man the ball. As you guys have seen in recent games, the things he can do when he has it in his hands. So, whatever we can do to get him the ball, that's our way of supporting him. Get 3 and outs, get off the field, get him the ball, and let him go to work. And he's doing a fantastic job for the situation he was put in. And he obviously, he knows he's got the whole team support 100%.
All right, thanks very much, Daniel.
Yeah.
Colton Poole, you're up.
All right, thanks for the time, Daniel. For starters, just North Dakota State's offense, what do you see from them specifically up front?
They run the ball. They love to run the ball. As any offense would, if you can run the ball, you can control the game. They're a hard-nosed, precise, disciplined team up front. Their O-line is, very, like I just said, disciplined and precise. And so we're going to have to be just as disciplined and precise, if not more, on our side of the ball if we want this thing to go the way we want it to. So, we definitely got a challenge in front of us, and, looking forward to facing it head on.
And number 44, pretty good game for himself against James Madison in the semifinals. Just what do you see from him and his skill set?
He's like we talked about it. He's kind of the heartbeat of their team. He's their go-to guy when they need a play. They're going to him, and, kind of the head of the snake. So, you want to win the game, you're probably going to have to, knock him out first.
And lastly, Ryan was on the last Zoom here, and he was kind of insinuating, I think, that Troy will get a statue of his own here for some time. I'm just curious, one, do you think he deserves a statue? And two, just what does he mean to this defense, specifically on the field and the things he's able to do?
100% he deserves a statue. Out of everybody who probably could have left, or who could have, gone someplace with the coaching changes or whatever, it could have been him. Like, the guy has unlimited potential. He's an amazing football player. And out of the years I've been here, I've seen this man do everything you could possibly ask him to. Like, carry the ball, throw the ball, tackle the ball, like whatever it is, even, special teams. The dude is an absolute animal. And so, yes, I think he deserves a statue on campus. And hopefully pretty soon he'll be, holding up a national championship trophy that we helped get for this college. So, on this defense, he's a huge part of it. I don't know how many games in a row he's had 10 plus tackles, but the guy is just a production machine. And, whatever gets past us up front is, getting tackled by him. Everybody saw that 4th down play in the first drive against South Dakota, man. That was all him. Like, the ball bounced and the man ran it down. It's stuff like that you just can't. It's invaluable. When somebody needs to make a play, he's usually the guy who steps up and does it. So, invaluable to our defense.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the time, Dan.
Colton Nuanez, go ahead.
Hey, Daniel. Couple things for you. One, what's your perspective on Sonny Holland and the statue that sits in front of Bobcat Stadium, but also just some of the history that leads Montana State to Butte? I mean, from Jim Sweeney all the way through now Tommy Mellott, there's so much that comes from Butte. So what do you think of just this sort of the statue and the history that comes from that part of the world?
Obviously, I'm not from Montana, so that was something I had to learn when I got here. But Sonny Holland's an absolute legend, and there's kind of a legacy that we have to hold up when it comes to that. And as far as Butte America, sending us some, absolute heroes, I think it's amazing. And, obviously Tommy's following in those footsteps, and he's as of right now, he's on track to, to building his legacy here as well. So, I think it's a very important part of this team's culture and history. And, for young guys, it's an important thing for them to know. Because, like I said, especially dudes who aren't from here, it's a part of the system the culture that they have to learn. And because it's an important part about who people are here at Montana State, who they are, what they believe in, and things like that. So.
Yeah, I thought that was such a striking part when I first talked to Coach Banks. He said, hey, however long I'm going to be here, I'm just a part of the next chapter of Montana State football, but there's so much before and so much after. And it seems like that just resonates with you guys as players so much too. So, I mean, how much does just the sort of the reverence for history influence your mindset as a Bobcat?
Oh, absolutely. So kind of like I talked about with that whole legacy, there's something that's been built here, not by us. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. And so we have a duty and a responsibility to uphold that legacy and to achieve greatness because of what's come before us. And, it's a huge part of our thing. In our summer training, when we do team building, we do trivia, and, that's stuff that we're required to know and things like that. So huge part of the culture and the team that we build here.
And last one for me, this is just for a story that one of my writers is doing just about sort of the long break. Cause it's been I don't know if you guys have ever had 3 weeks between games. So, on one hand, you can get fresh. On the other hand, you guys had a ton of momentum. So just from a player perspective, what's it like having 3 weeks off as you prepare for this football game?
Definitely nice to kind of get your body back. It's a long season, definitely the longest season I've ever been a part of. So definitely that part is crucial, but the other great part is just time to prepare. These guys are a great team for a reason. They do a lot of stuff and they're very precise about it. So, just the additional time to prepare, watch film, get reps, see different looks, things like that is invaluable, because the more you see it out there on the field or in the film room is, the quicker you get to react to it in the game. And it was also nice to kind of, get away for Christmas and see family. I haven't been back to Portland since for a long time. And so it was nice to be able to get around family and kind of to be away from football for a minute. But, now it's back to business, man, picking up the briefcase, tighten the tie, and, start grinding again.
Robbie Whittle.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel. Y'all have had one of the best defenses in the country this year. How much of an impact did Coach Banks have on getting y'all to where you're at on defense?
I think he has a big impact. They have a plan for us every week, and really good plan. I also think a big part of that is just, some of the dogs that we have on defense, like Troy Anderson, Callahan O'Reilly, Chase Benson, Amandre Williams, Ty Okada, they tell us all the time, the plan is the plan, but somebody's got to execute it. So, I appreciate Coach Banks 100% for, having us in the right position to be successful. But, I got to give credit to the guys who are out there, actually making the tackles.
Is there anything different about Coach Banks' style compared to other defensive coordinators you've worked with in the past?
Yeah. Coach Banks is a little more, he's a little more fiery than it's a few defensive coordinators I've had in the past. You guys don't really get to see it much, but behind the scenes, we definitely get a fire lit under us if we're not doing the right stuff. So, appreciate him for that. Cause if a coach is yelling at you, he cares about you and he's trying to coach you up. It's when they stop talking that you kind of get worried.
And what's it been like running with him through the playoffs now?
Great. Our coach has the utmost confidence in us, and they, like I said, they put us in positions to succeed. And, our coach every week, he comes in and, we sit down and we talk about the team that we're about to play. And he tells us, and I know he 100% believes it. He tells us if we execute at the best of our abilities, we will 100% win this game. And, I believe it. And like I said, he puts us in position to succeed, well thought out, very mindful about, our personnel and how we can best use our guys to be successful. And as you can see, we've done it. Like you said, we have one of the best defenses in the country this year. And so, it's come out pretty good for us.
And just one more for me. You've seen a couple North Dakota State teams now. Is there anything similar about this year's team that you've seen from the two previous?
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely a hard-nosed football team. They have an identity and a culture that's very strong. And obviously, those guys have been winning championships for like 7, 8. They have a freaking dynasty. So, that culture definitely is, permeated through their entire team. And so, as far as, just lining up, letting the whole world know that you're about to run A-gap power and still running it and getting 6-7 yards on it is, that's the type of team that they are. And, that hasn't changed at all. Just a hard-nosed, disciplined offense. So the same thing as all the years that I played them. So, hopefully looking for a different outcome this year.